SaVonne Anderson founded Aya Paper Company in 2019. She's a graphic designer at a contemporary art museum in New York City when she was inspired to create a line of stationery. Her cards and journals are bringing authentic sense of joy and celebration to a diverse Black experience. In addition to wearing all the hats at Aya Paper Company, SaVonne is also an advocate for environmental justice. She's a Tory Burch Foundation Fellow and the program director at the nonprofit Ownership is the Future, helping Black high school students shift to ownership and entrepreneurial mindset. Welcome, SaVonne. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk with you today.
So can you tell me, SaVonne, what was your inspiration?
I really started this company because of a problem. I wasn't really inspired at first, honestly. I was frustrated by my experiences looking for greeting cards to celebrate my loved ones year after year, looking for a card to celebrate my Black dad on Father's Day and not finding anything that looked like him. That's what really prompted me. And then once I felt motivated to really address that problem, my inspiration also came from family. A lot of our images and words come from real life experiences, whether it's a childhood photo that I made an illustration of or a message that someone sent me that really resonated that I think that more people should read.
You have so much going on and all the things are so impressive. Seems like it would be very stressful. Can you tell me what are the most stressful parts of what you're doing and how do you deal with stress?
There is a lot of stress involved with entrepreneurship, but like you said, I added lots of other things on my plate as well. I work with a nonprofit organization to help high school students learn how to build their own ventures. And I'm also a mom of a 2-year-old. So, balancing home life with my daughter, with my fiance, with my work, with my other work, it's a lot. But the way that I deal with stress most often is really by getting outside, being in nature, and disconnecting. Actually, this morning I woke up feeling very overwhelmed and I just went to a local reservation and I just went on a hike for like 30 minutes. And literally, I think 2 minutes into the hike, I felt so much more relaxed already. So, disconnecting is really the way that I try to keep myself grounded when things get to be a lot.
That is so important. And that's something I hear a lot, just kind of unplug and get out in nature and it will restore you. Sustainability is something we think a lot about, and it means a lot of different things to different companies. I know your products are all sustainable. Tell me what you think sustainability means to your brand.
I at Paper Co., we look at sustainability as a way of using the Earth's resources in a way that is responsible and not depleting them. So all of our cards are made from 100% recycled paper. So we're not cutting down any trees to make our cards or our journals. We also make sure that we're sending everything in environmentally responsible packaging, things that you can easily recycle at the curbside. And even when it comes to our product design, we want to create things that people want to hold on to and not throw out in the trash. So people often will keep our greeting cards and display them on their mantle, or they may even frame them to display on their walls, or even if they just put it in a shoebox to save because it means so much to them. So when we think about sustainability, it's from like the first time we're thinking about a product all the way through to what a customer is going to do with it once they receive it.
You have a lot going on. Tell me what you're most proud of, especially about your products.
What makes me most proud with Aya Paper Co. is the impact that it has. Every time we get a positive review or someone sees me at an event and they tell me about, how they were introduced to the brand and how our products make them feel, that's what makes me the most proud because that's why I started, because I didn't want people to feel frustrated when they were supposed to be celebrating. So that what feels most impactful about the work. And I'm also very proud of just, myself for all of the work that I put into this brand and the level of resilience and courage that it takes to really do this. When I first started the company, I had no idea just how difficult it would be to continue doing it. Like starting is the easy part. It's continuing that's so hard. So I'm really proud of the fact that we'll be turning 5 years old next month and that I'm still doing this. So that's really exciting to be reaching, those milestones and to show the longevity of what we've been doing.
That is so true. When we start, we don't know what we don't know. And then we get started and we learn.
It's not always sunshine and rainbows.
Obviously, you're a female founder. Tell me, how has being a female founder shaped your business journey?
I struggle with answering that question because I don't know anything else, and also within my industry, within stationery and gifting, it's a very women dominated industry. So I haven't faced many like particular challenges based on the work that I do. What has been challenging though is of course securing capital for growing my business and being a mom. That's what when I first started the company, I was not a mother. I became a mom like halfway into this journey so far. So that's what has become more of a challenge, and that something that I speak to other women founders about a lot. My fiance, he's an entrepreneur as well, and even though we have a very great relationship and we balance all of our responsibilities as parents, being a mother, there's just certain societal expectations, the guilt that you feel when I have to go out of town for work or I miss certain things. That's what can be very challenging. But a lot of it, I feel like, when it comes to being a woman in business, a lot of the struggles come down to just money and the guilt around not being more present and showing up in the ways that society expects me to. So I combat those things by, with the mom guilt, I just have to tell myself that, like, I'm not doing anything wrong. My daughter's well taken care of. I spend lots of time with her, and, that I'm working for a legacy to leave, generational wealth for her, to show her what it's like to be a working woman. And when it comes to the capital, I've found that I've had a lot of success with going through financing programs that specifically are made for women. So that means going to people who understand that it's not an equitable playing field for us, and they want to give to women specifically. So that's been really helpful for me.
That's beautiful. And I'm sure the role that you're setting for your daughter is going to be so powerful for her. And like you said, not beat yourself up about it. You're actually doing amazing things for her by leading a woman-owned business. So good job. I'm wondering if you want to talk about what inspires you in your daily life.
Yes, my inspiration really comes from everyday life. I want Aya Paper Co. to be a reflection of reality. My brand statement to people always is like, we create cards that look and sound like you. So my inspiration just comes from the everyday things. Like, of course, sometimes it's a birthday card, but also it can just be an illustration of, a woman getting her hair braided. Like, that's an everyday moment that I find such beauty in, and I want to elevate and create products that give us opportunities to appreciate how beautiful, the everyday, the mundane really is. So I find a lot of inspiration in the small moments, things that, happen every day that aren't so, may not feel noteworthy to most people, but I think that that's where what I really love to do is to take those things that we may take for granted, those moments with our loved ones, those moments maybe even by ourselves, and to create something really beautiful that we can appreciate.
And I think a lot of times women, as we get older, people who don't fit into that tiny box that's not at all inclusive, that we aren't told you're beautiful or this is what you really should be appreciated for, instead of like, are you young? Are you thin? Are you white? Somebody has to find that beauty.
And that's what I really like to do with our products. Like right now, our focus when you look at our products is on the Black experience. But as we continue to grow, my main goal is to create products for anyone who feels excluded, people who have been historically marginalized and underrepresented in these industries. So, like you said, even folks who are older, not being able to find a card, that celebrates, aging in a way that's positive and not just like, I really there's this time and a place and a space for everything, but our goal is never to make things that are humorous at someone's expense. And I think that that's something that I notice a lot in the industry. People making light or making jokes out of people aging, or making jokes out of people being bad parents. And it's like, I don't want to be. That's not what we do. It's about showing people gratitude and appreciation for exactly who they are, and not making people feel like, well, this doesn't really reflect who you are or what I really want to say, but it's good enough for you. Like, we should all be able to receive something that reflects who we are and makes us feel great about ourselves.
That part about the feeling the shame was so powerful. I was sitting outside a restaurant the other day, and a woman and her birthday entourage were walking in. She had a crown and she was saying, I'm 60, I'm 60. It was so much fun to see.
I love that. Yes, you should wear a crown at 60. There's no age limit on wearing a birthday crown or celebrating yourself. I love that.
Yeah, it was fun. So tell me a little bit about what your future looks like. You have so much going on, especially with the Tory Burch Foundation. Tell me about everything that's going on and what your future looks like.
So, like I said before, we are turning 5 years old this year, which feels like a really huge milestone. As we all know, 50% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. So, it feels really great to make it over that hump. And it's also a little bit intimidating because it's like, well, what's next? Like, after that 5 year mark, you're not really a new small business. It's like, what are you doing next? Where are you going? So, the Tory Burch Foundation Fellowship came at the perfect time for me because, like I said, I'm at this time where I'm trying to figure out how to grow beyond what we've done already and how to, continue to make progress forward. So I'm really excited about how that fellowship will give me more educational opportunities, a strong network, mentorship opportunities, and capital to help me reach that next goal. And what I really want is for Aya Paper Co. to be available wherever cards are sold. So looking into getting a national retail partnership, we have dedicated shelf space. Anytime you go into the store, you can find the cards that you need for that given season. So it sounds like, a big task, but I know that we're very close. It's something I've been having my eyes on for a long time. And I think that now that I've learned so much over these past few years, I feel like we're in the perfect position to make that leap. And a big part of that is really continuing to raise brand awareness. So, our digital marketing strategy is the main focus for this year. How can we get the brand in front of as many people as possible and let people know that we're doing? Because I know that our products are great. When people find out about them, they're so excited and they just want to buy everything. So, it's a matter of just figuring out lots of creative and authentic ways to connect with people.
We have your beautiful journal that says nothing without intention. And what you were just saying reminded me of that. You're so close. You've set your intention to get there and be in those stores. You can do it. You can do it. I'm the same way. We're selling self-care, right? And we want all women to experience self-care and to thrive because of it. And I'm the worst practitioner.
I love that product so much. It was one of the very early products that we released, and it continues to be a bestseller. And it reminds me to really live by that. Like, that's the great thing about my work is that all of the work that I'm creating reminds me to put these things into practice myself. Like, by if I'm selling a product that tells people to do nothing without intention, it's a constant reminder for me to do the same thing with my business. Like, if I want to be a nationally distributed brand, my intention is to make sure that I'm telling as many people as possible about it, to hold us to that standard of a nationally distributed brand, to already be acting like, we are that type of brand, to be, operating at that high level, raising the bar for ourselves so that when other people see us, they look at us as somewhere that should be nationally distributed. And that's something that I always think is so funny whenever people, whether it's their first time discovering Aya or longtime customers who I'm talking to, the thing that I hear the most is, "Oh yeah, I saw you in Target," or "I really want to go to Target to get your cards," or "I think I discovered you there." And I always remind people, you have not. You're not on Target shelves, because it's not a coincidence that so many people say this to me. So I'm really excited to really, hit that benchmark because the intention is set. I've been manifesting on it. I've been planning it. It's going to happen. So I'm just already in that moment of celebration because I know it's coming. I always try to give myself grace as well. And it's like, even though I may not be practicing, self care, I may not be, journaling daily, like, I have the intention to take care of myself. I will do better. I'm going to, put things in place so that I can. And if I don't, like, I don't have to beat myself up about it. That's like you were saying before about shame. I think that so much of life is already centered on shaming us into making purchase or shaming us into making certain decisions. And if I don't want to do that to my customers, I have to always tell myself not to do that to me.
So true, so true. And it's also like, we don't have to do it perfectly. So you missed a day. Don't beat yourself up about it. So is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience in terms of what's going on or what you're excited about?
One of the things that I'm really excited about that we've done this year is we released our first meditation deck. So the Kinfolk deck it was like 2 to 3 years in the making. It was a very long process. I actually started working on it when I was pregnant, and it released when my daughter is turning 2. So that tells you how long it was. But it's good because it was made with intention and we took our time with it. So the Kinfolk deck pulls art from our collection of all of our different illustrations of Black families and communities. And it's 52 cards, and on one side is an image, and on the other side there is a meditation, affirmation, or conversation prompt. And this product, since releasing 2 months ago, it's been flying off the shelves. People are so excited about it. And that feels really good because, it's a risk to add a new product to the collection. People are used to greeting cards. So it feels really good to see the positive response to it. So I'd love to have more people, enjoy this deck, bring it into their communities, use it as a part of their self-care routines. So all of our products are great, but definitely check out the Kinfolk deck. And yeah, I'm just excited to hopefully introduce more people to the brand through this podcast. I can also share we have a discount code for first time buyers. So if you happen to shop on Aya Paper Co., the code is welcome 15, welcome 15. So it gives you 15% off your first order.